Hey Bronze Age heroes, welcome to the Bronze Cave. I'm Christopher, aka the Bronze Age Nerd, and this is another episode of Top 5 Not to Buy. In this show, I reveal the top 5 comic books that I'm not buying right now. I have various reasons why. I go into the explanation of why I won't buy these comic books. Every comic book that I'm going to list here was featured somewhere online as either top 20 on Key Collector, Cover Price Top 10, CBSI Hot 10, one of those kinds of lists. And I kind of basically choose the ones I think are the worst possible investments from those lists, in my opinion. Before we get into the topic, I want to thank the sponsor of today's video, and that is Comic Barricade. You can pick up Comic Barricades at comicbarricade.com, and they are a fantastic solution to stop the lean in your short and long comic book boxes. You know that can damage your comic books, and no comic book collector wants that. If you have a partially filled comic book box, I recommend Comic Barricades as a solution to put a strong, rigid wall into your comic book box that'll stop those comic books from falling over. They're repositionable, they're a patented design, they're made here in the United States, and they ship for free. And another benefit is these will add stability to your comic book boxes if you stack them on top of each other, because you're adding some more stabilization into that comic book box. They come in 2 different sizes, so you can get one for your magazine, Golden Age, graded boxes. You can also get one for your regular comic book boxes. And on top of all of that, you can save 10% by using the code Bronze10 over at comicbarricade.com at checkout. Remember, with Comic Barricades, it's as easy as insert, support, and stabilize. Okay, so let's get into the top 5 comic books I'm not buying right now, and this is a pretty fun list. First up on the list, we're going to go with Wonder Twins #1. This is the first solo title featuring the Wonder Twins. This popped up ostensibly because we have a casting news for an HBO Max series featuring the Wonder Twins. Okay. Okay. Raise your hands if you think Wonder Twins are going to be a bad investment. Wonder Twins power activate, right? Come on. Who thinks this is really going to be a good investment? First appearance, possibly. First solo title, no. Now, the buy-in is relatively low here. So if I find this in a dollar bin, I'd consider picking it up to flip it. Absolutely. That's not, I wouldn't scoff my nose at it. Am I going to go spend $15 or whatever it's going for right now in the hopes that I'll make 20 later on? No. Once you factor in shipping, unless you find it at an LCS or something like that, you're probably going to make, break even on this one. I totally predict that this comic book is not going to be one that we're going to see soaring to new heights. Book 4 was the King Conan #3. This is the 1 in 25 variant. This comic book landed on the list because of a controversy that came up with the depiction of a Native American character, Pocahontas, in this book. Jason Aaron has a since apologized, and there are going to be revisions to future releases of this book, including digital. I get it, but think about all the controversial and recalled issues that we've seen in the modern era and how much they've really, generated buzz. I mean, there was that Immortal Hulk issue. You had X-Men Gold #1. Those both had, potentially bigoted panels or comments or whatever by artists kind of sneaking things in that they shouldn't have. I mean, think about something like All-Star Batman and Robin, what was it, 10 or whatever, that had the bad blocking out of words. So you saw like Batgirl swearing in the issue. All those books aren't really worth that much these days. So King Conan #3, it's an interesting issue. If you're somebody who collects recalled or censored or modified issues or stuff like that, I could see you wanting to go for this one, but I just don't understand how this is going to be worth a ton of money someday. Speaking of tons of money, how about Journey into Mystery Annual #1? That's right, this made the Key Collector Trending 20. Okay, so you're talking about a book that's a ton of money. I mean, we're talking in high condition, you're approaching $1,000. Why is this on the list? It's because we saw a image of Zeus, or a Zeus-like character, of course, in Thor's new trailer that dropped. And I mean, there's attachments that Russell Crowe's going to be playing that character. I couldn't really tell from the trailer. I didn't really analyze it frame by frame. He's only in it for a very brief shot. Okay, yeah, so you're going to go invest in this because Russell Crowe's going to play Zeus. You're going to spend a ton of money on this. I mean, I don't get it. It's a cool book. It's a key book that a lot of people are going to want to collect, I think, for a lot of reasons that are important to comic book history. I would wait for the hype to cool off. If you're somebody who's like, I really wanted to get that book, you'll have another chance to buy this book. Think about Russell Crowe playing Jor-El in Superman. I mean, Did the first appearance of Jor-El go up? You know, I just don't see this being something that's going to be a massive deal to the point where it's going to justify the huge buy-in on this book. Okay, how about Wonder Woman Historia 2, the 1 in 25? It has a faux leather cover to it. Yeah. Okay, I don't I don't get it. Who's going to really be collecting this book in 6 months to a year that didn't already pick one up, that was pumped for it before it came out? I don't get it. I don't see any room for this book to grow. If you think this book has any kind of chance, let me know in the comments. Okay, last up on the list is a book that I own copies of this book. I'd love to see it skyrocket in value. It's Vision and the Scarlet Witch number 12. This is kind of sort of the first Wiccan and Speed. It's not though, really. So this is like a birth appearance, right? This is when she gives birth to her sons, Tommy and Billy. So and you know, this is probably fueled by WandaVision, of course. But those characters, I think their real books are going to be Young Avengers books. Young Avengers 1 and 10, I think, are kind of their kind of breakout books. Both these characters have somewhat messy backgrounds. Again, I don't think baby first appearances are, I think they're a key, but I don't think they're going to hold the same weight as that adult first appearance or the first appearance of the character in costume. I think you go back to the argument that is the character's first appearance more important, or is the character's first appearance as the hero, villain, alter ego that they're known as, is that more important? Would you rather have the first appearance of Eddie Brock or the first appearance of Venom, right? So I think that's where I kind of have a sticking point with baby first appearances. I don't think this book is a terrible book to own, especially if you're a fan of those characters. It's a great book to own. I just don't think it's going to be something that we're going to look at as something that carries a ton of value. By the way, this book already had value going into WandaVision. This was a book that kind of had its moment to shine, and it dropped off again pretty quickly. I think that's going to happen again with this book, so that's why it's on this list. Hey, thanks for watching, everybody, for this other edition of books that I'm not buying this week. I want to know what your thoughts are in the comments down below, though. I absolutely love seeing that. If you like this video, that's awesome. I don't really ask you to like and subscribe, but what I would like you to do is share it with some people. Send us to some people you think would think it's interesting. You know, share my channel with them. I'd rather have you do that. I think that's a cooler way to kind of organically get the conversation going and bring more people in to talk about whether or not these books are good investments. I care more about that side of things. Also, if you want to come join the conversation, I have a Discord server you can come join, and I have a whole bunch of discounts down below. You can go check out the codes for those and go save some money on comic supplies or comics or whatever you're looking for, cleaning and pressing. Check out the links in the description. Last but not least, there are some extra perks for people who become channel members or donate to my Ko-fi, and you can check out both of those things, guess where, in the description down below, of course. Thanks for watching this video, and as always, I want to remind you, hey, 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 read comics every day.